Hey, welcome back. We've been building a streaming music service with Phoenix and Elixir. Last time we were working on the front end stuff. We were styling the player, and what else did we do? Yeah, we were showing the metadata and doing some of that stuff. So this time I'd like to continue with doing some styling, get this text visible and in different typeface, and set the colors on it. And then I think let's come around and maybe we'll get the audio working next. And if we have time after that, then maybe we'll dive into like actually, because right now the audio in the background, we only grab like one and then do it and we're done. And so the other thing we need to do is like when it's over, like when the remaining time runs out, we need to actually go and like get the next one. So we'll start looking into that after we get some of this styled up and looking cool. So let's get colors. Well, old IBM style colors. Old IBM style colors. Or, well, let's go with that for now. So I have some notes on colors here. And these are similar to what was used on like the old IBM 5250 series terminals. The 5250, was that the original black and white one? But we're green and black. But there was, what did they call them? Like display something something. Anyway, they went to color later, and these are the colors that they supported on like the AS400 and those systems. And in my opinion, they work better together than ANSI, and also they're a lot more readable. So for example, their blue is actually like more of a periwinkle, whereas like ANSI blue is very dark, and it's just like a pure phosphor blue almost, or maybe exactly, which would make sense. But it's hard to read, like your eyes have trouble focusing on it because it's so dark and it's just blue, like a fairly deep blue. So anyway, yeah, these work better together. They have not the same brightness for all of them, but a more consistent brightness among them, and then the hues work together as well. And IBM, I believe, designed and I know used them to facilitate showing an information hierarchy on a display that had a monospace font and really was like limited in size to where you wouldn't use white space a lot to show the relationships between different visual elements. And so I think that these colors or colors like them can be used in similar circumstances nowadays, where you really want it to minimize the space used by information you want to display visually, but you still want to keep some structure to it. This is one way that you could do that. So, and there, as I say, there are some differences in brightness which help with showing that hierarchy, even for people who might be, as they say, colorblind. But I think, I don't know, maybe that'd be an interesting experiment to do, but I think the most common types of color blindness, these colors still work better for than just like their grayscale equivalents. But I should check into that. But even if you were just displaying them in grayscale, I think that they would still help bring the information hierarchy to light. And then we also have some affordances that aren't purely visual, to help show that, like the colons between a label and the field it goes with and some things like that. And we may look at if we need to, for screen reader support, adding like those additional attributes on some of the tags to make them work well in a screen reader. So yeah, because blind people listen to music too, and folks who aren't blind use screen readers sometimes too, depending on the situation. So we'll get into all that, but for now, just want to get something. And so let's body color, and so our basic color is going to be this green for average importance text, and this is this is very easy to this is easy to focus on. The eye focuses well on green. You can see it also has pretty good brightness. It stands out good against that dark background. Then I'd like to use white for our fields, all of these fields, all the great fields. So that one's a link, we don't need to worry about that. Class equals data. And same here. I think that gets us there. Data, color. That's, yeah, almost white, isn't it? We've got all of these at 90% alpha. That's cool, because that'll let the background through just a little, so it kind of reinforces this almost CRT effect a little bit, but not in a too overt way. I think that'll look nice. White for higher importance text. Right, so now we've got those, and now this is starting to look a little bit like, so let's, I think I like these comments here. And so it's not just data, it's also headings. There we go. And blue for ancillary text. So that's going to be like inline help text and that kind of thing. And like I said, this is still a pretty readable blue. This isn't like the just absolutely unreadable blue you're thinking of from ANSI. So I think, class equals help. What happened there? Oh, you gotta write the whole thing, Chief. There we go. Now that's starting to look pretty snazzy. See, that's pretty readable, especially on a dark background. I'd say ANSI blue is actually more readable on a white background than a black one. And then turquoise for links, link text. Yeah. And these are still subject to some change, and I'm not married to the idea of using like these exact colors, but we can tweak them a little if it seems wise. Yeah, they've worked pretty well in the prototypes so far. Okay, cool. So that gets us colors. We can read all this text down here in the corners. We got on account of our vignette. And like to get some typefaces in here. So at the very least, we should have, what is it, font family? So this should be a sans serif, worst case. Yeah, okay, so that's already an improvement. And then everything else, font family, we're gonna have a monospace. Again, kind of with the computer terminal vibe, but not totally committed to that look, but this will let us do some other things visually that I think will play well. Like we'll line some things up and do that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's going to play well. And so that's a little small. Is it font size? Let's try 16 pixels. That's better. I like that. We ought to go to 18. Oh, a different question is, we were fiddling around with this earlier. Are we, yeah, we're zoomed. That's the normal zoom. I think I like 18 here. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments if you have feelings on that. I think I like that pretty well. Okay, so those are adequate typefaces, but I want a little more for browsers that support it, which I looked it up, and it looks to me like this is not going to limit our browser support significantly, or maybe at all, from where we're already at, to use some web fonts. They're not super big, I don't think. We'll check that. Oh, speaking of which, I gotta go find them and bring them into this project, so I'll be right back. Okay, I found them. So they're not tiny, but for what they get us, I don't think they're unreasonably large. They're about 100K each, which is much larger than our document here. Of course, it's much smaller than the media we're going to load, especially if you stream like for a while. And of course, they're cacheable. It's not like we're loading a different one every time. It does add two requests to get the page the first time. But I think that they'll pay us back well, so we'll see. IBM Plex Mono. For basic text. For most text. And font face, let's bring that up here. Font face, font family. IBM Plex Mono. Source. IBM Plex Mono regular format. True type. Let's see how that does us. We gotta put it here too. IBM Plex Mono. Oh, look at that. See, that's sharp looking in my opinion. Very sharp. Okay. And IBM Plex Sans condensed for headings. This looks really sharp in my opinion. Plex Sans condensed is like for display text, like not for body text. Oh man, it's so sharp. So let's bring it in. Oh, I had it right here. Source URL Plex Sans condensed regular. Look at it. This looks so good. All right. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Even the hiragana look good. See that? I don't know if that's coming out of Plex or if that's just the generic monospace on here, but God, it looks good together. All right. I love it. Let's press our advantage. I would like okay, what if we do that, huh? We could use a table to do this. That would be a reasonable strategy also. Another thing we could do is like type things right. Yeah, so that works. Now over here, this this business. What can we do here now? So the paragraph. Let's think and let's poke into this. So the paragraph takes the full width of the containing element, which makes sense. We could decline to set the width on that. We could set a max width of 50%. And we could set a min width so it doesn't flop around all the time too. Let's see about that. Let's see what we think of it. In the corners. And so first we're gonna do that. We're also gonna do that. Yeah. I like that pretty well. You know, you know, these don't tell, like one of them's the background and one of them's the kind of crazy, but what if we did, I just want to see what it looks like. It's goofy, but what if we did something like, never see anybody do that? It seems weird. I don't hate it yet, but I might if we keep going further. I don't know, maybe. You know, sometimes you just gotta try the weird ideas and see. I mean, it is definitely weird, but so I think I don't want, well, maybe I do. Maybe. I want to pull the size down a little, perhaps. What happens if we, let's get this over here. Audio? No, song. And starting to like that. My sense is smaller section headings. What happens if section H2 font size No, I don't like that. That could work. So let's look at another possibility, which is Oh, so is that, yeah, that I should have done that. No big deal. What if, we did, oh, what if we just took that off of there? I kind of like it. What is it? Like, is it font? Is it font decoration? I can never remember. Text. Oh, it's text decoration. Underline. The other thing we could do is do it in reverse text. Yeah, what if, what about that? No, I don't like that. I'm pretty happy with that, with it underlined. Should it be green though? That's the one thing I'm wondering about here. It might be better green. And then what if we did, well, I've got two different ideas. Let's try one and then the other. So we're gonna need a bunch of those. Kind of gross. Oh, and we got the underline, didn't we? I'm sure there's a way to fix that. If I just imagine it's not there. I don't like it. So let's look at the other idea and see if I like that better. So one of the things I had thought about when we were looking at this earlier was, what if we just ditched that? I think that can work. What do you think? Why are there... Oh. I think that could work. Let's see if we can do it with the song too, huh? Yeah. I think I'm good with that. Right, and that solves our problem of this moving around when the length changes, because now we don't have to set a minimum width or anything to keep the... Yeah, this just solves a lot of things and gets stuff off the screen. But I think it's still quite clear, like folks are pretty used to like this style of artist dash title, I think. And then a link kind of speaks for itself when you can click on it, that it's a link, so you probably don't need to label it as a link, right? I don't know, let me know what you think of this layout down in the comments. I'm gonna roll with it for now, see how it plays. So with that being the case, oh, we weren't showing or hiding any of the labels anymore, were we? So that's fine, we don't need to clean anything up there. All right, I think that's enough styling. Let's see if we can get some audio playing. Yeah, let's pop over here. It's probably in here. Grouping content, text level semantics. No, it's not a link. Embedded content, that's probably what we're talking about. Audio element. Has a source, autoplay, which we can request, but we're not going to get it on any modern browser. Muted. Can you audio element autoplay muted? Does letting it be muted allow it to start spinning? Autoplay. With the audio muted. That would be interesting. I have a feeling even if we can get that to work in some browsers, we're going to need to support the case where it doesn't work. Is not totally clear, and it seems like the kind of thing they could change at any time. So let's not count on it. Audio. We're not going to set the source yet. I think we're just going to set it to hidden audio player. Okay. So that's good enough. And then we need to audio player set attribute source to response file URL. Does that, well, we didn't get an error. So that's good. Where did I put that? I did put it in the audio section. Oh, it's in that paragraph. Oh, which is fine. Should it be in a paragraph? It's not a self-closing tag. Let's pop back here. So where embedded content is expected. Uh-huh. Can it be in a section? Okay. So I think that can go directly into a section element based on that. And I like that as a spot for it. Okay, and the source is getting set. All right, so now we're gonna need a button. Button, the kids call it a button. Where does it go? Let's try it up top first. Button, play. Okay. Play button. And let's play button. Add event listener. Is that event listener? Yes. Click. So what do we want to do when the play button is clicked? We also need HTML audio element. Hopefully that'll tell us yes. Oh, it's just media element. Okay, that's fine. So it's probably a method, right? Play. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Okay, so there's more we need to do. We need to listen to the music for a moment's what we need to do. Because our music streaming service is playing music now. I don't know if you noticed. It's starting to look suspiciously like a thing. All right, so that's probably enough of that. We'll just turn that down. So we gotta have, so there's problems. We got problems. Among our problems is that we didn't start that at the right place, right? So we need to know like what what time it started at, sort of. So like the the base case is we know the time remaining when we get the metadata, right? So we could stash what time it is when we get the metadata, like local time on the client side, and time remaining at that time, and then here, when the play button is hit, we could use that information to adjust where we're at. So there's got to be there's got to be current time in seconds. And it looks like we can set that. So we could set the current time here in this click handler, but we'll need some information to be able to do that. So where do we want to stash that information? We could put it onto the data set for the audio player. I'd be okay with that. But given the kind of constrained context of this page, I'm also fine with just declaring some globals. It's not like we're going to trip over oh, which audio player? There's only one, you know? So we could do... what do we even want to call that, though? So let's see how we would implement it here. So we would say something like audio player dot current time, and that's gonna be what's a current time in seconds? Date.getTime, yeah, okay, but that's going to give us milliseconds, so that's fine. So we would want, so how many seconds do we need to offset in? Is the duration less the remaining plus how long it is since we got that remaining information, right? So metadata age is audio metadata receive time. What was that? Date.getTime. Date.now. Is that something we want? That works for me. That's not new, is it? It is. Is it too new? It is a little new. Partial support. Date now. Oh, it's got really good support for now. Okay, we'll go with that until I know better. Okay, so that's the age of the metadata in milliseconds. And then the offset we want dot current time, was that? Hold on though. The offset we want current time duration. Well, no, let's duration minus audio remaining divided by 1,000 to get it into seconds, right? And so the audio, oh man. So I'm a little unpleasantly surprised this is in seconds when everything else in JavaScript is in milliseconds, but that's fine. So we'll get both of these into milliseconds, and audio player dot current time is going to be the offset plus the metadata age. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I think it might be a good idea to dump some of this for debugging. Seek. Metadata age, offset, and no, I'm good with just dropping those two out, I think. Make sure that they look reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, let's have it. Let's have the console. That didn't work well. Oh, right. Yeah, let's make some globals and then, yeah. Audio received time. I mean, that's not true, but, and then let's have audio remaining 0. So those are okay, but we need to actually set it when it comes in here. Audio received time and audio remaining, that's on the response, that remaining, yeah. Okay, see what we get. So it seeked us in So it says it seeked us in, but I don't know about that. You know, we should really have something dropping out the, which we want to display in the interface too, is something about how far into the song we're in. But there should be an event. Events. Maybe we were further into that than I thought. Time update. let's have that audio player time update. Oh boy, dude. We're adding an event listener for time update. Console that debug audio player time update. Normally I drop the event too, just in case I want to inspect it. Yeah, that totally worked. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and build that out a little. Now, this video is getting kind of long, so let's not build that out right now. But that'll be the next thing I want to do, is actually like not just dump that into the console. That's going to just clutter that up. But we'll get it into the user interface somewhere so we can look at it and style up that button. We better do that too. And there's more JavaScript to write for like this is a play button. We need to be able to pause to, and then yeah, and then we still need to get it so it'll like play the next song or bumper or whatever and actually play the stream for us. And then we can see if that whole concept even works, which, you know, I just kind of came up with and haven't tested yet, of like if we have multiple clients like requesting the next play, and like are they going to be reasonably in sync with each other, and all of that. You know, I'm not looking to have them like so you could have two, you know, one in each ear and have it sound right, but so that if you said, hey, did you hear that song that just played, like people would be like, yeah, I did, it was cool. So yeah, well, that's enough for right now. If you saw anything that you would have done different, or if you see something you had a question about that I did, let me know down in the comments. We'll chat about it, maybe learn something from each other. If you got any feedback you can give me on the video, how to make the videos better, more enjoyable, more informative, more whatever, please let me know that too. And until next time, take care.